Good evening everyone, it's Tom Sydney Bushnell, aka Numbers, here from Psych Club from the Tom Numbers Show and News with Tom Numbers. And so today will be an edition of News with Tom Numbers. News with Tom Numbers is when I do decodes on the news or things in popular culture like books, movies, TV shows, songs. I like to use the newspapers as my current source each day for News with Tom Numbers, but I do notice things along the way in popular culture. So today I'm going to talk about Kate Bush and her famous song Cloud Busting. And I've mentioned it a little bit before, but there's some interesting things I've noticed, so I wanted to share those with you. And before we get into the meat of the show, just to let you know, so people that follow my work consistently, people that are members of Locals and people that are on YouTube and Twitter, etc., and see my work, Rumble, Truth Social, you'll know that my Locals subscription, we've had an offer on, and that went up on Monday, Sunday, early hours of Monday, depending on what time zone you're in. And I went from $5 a month to $8 a month. And I had that running for a couple of days. So what are we today? I think it's Wednesday. I only realized last night that when I did that, it automatically pushed up the annual price. I'd been telling everybody that you can have $8, but still the $50. I didn't realize it pushed the price up. I've spoken to my team at Locals and that's what it does. So what I'm going to do is it's back to $50 a month because it pushed it to 80. And we will go to 80 eventually, probably over the next course of the month. But to give people time, to give people fair warning, fair time to react, I'm going to stagger it. I think that's the best way to get full disclosure. I want you all over to join on Locals. I want you to all subscribe to Locals, and then I can talk to you freely and I can give you as much of my attention, much of my focus as possible. We've got a really powerful community there, so everybody that's on board, thank you. Everyone that is not in yet and still supports my work on other channels, I'm really grateful to you as well for that. But if you come to Locals and become a subscriber, you'll get all my content first, and you'll be able to see so many exclusive shows like the Trump NFT, Trump card call, full Janine Morrigeau episode, full 107 episode, full Chris Voss episode. You'll get my News with Tom Number shows there first. You've got the decode on Diana and Dodi and JFK. You've got the Inception decode. Those are still there exclusive. So you get a whole bunch of content. So if you joined, I noticed, because that was the thing, I noticed something was going on. I was like, usually people take up the full subscription for the year. And I was like, well, no one's taken that up. And then I realized, I only found it out last night what happened. It had gone to the 80. So if you've joined on the $8, just keep that, because it's going to go to $8 in the next probably 2 to 4 weeks anyway. But every few days I'm going to stagger it. So right now it's at $50 a month because it had shot up to 80 and I wasn't aware of that. So I brought it back down. It's at $50. And it's at $5 because that's the way I can get the $50 for you. But it's going to go up, and it will probably go to $6 tomorrow or Friday, because we've had the 2 days of kind of confusion on it. Yeah, actually, no, that's what we do. So Friday, it's going to go to $6, and it's going to go up to $54. And every 2 or 3 days, you're going to see that it will jump. It will keep going up. But I'll tell you, I'll give you fair warning, fair advance clarity beforehand. So if people have joined at the $8, just stick to that, because you're going to, within 2 to 4 weeks, that's what it's going to be anyway. All right. So I hope that's clear for everybody. I'm new to Locals. It's a wonderful platform, but it's the first time I've been changed the price, and I didn't realize that that's what they did. So I basically, if I do $5, I get 3 tiers within that. If I do $6, I get 3 price points for the annual. Again, $7, 3 price points within there. $8, same price point. Three price point choices. $9, three price point choices. Basically, they do either 3, 2, or 1 month discounts, or none. There's also the option for none. So it's actually technically 4, but I always want to make it give you the best value, and the best value is I can give you is on the annual pass. Still, the month to month is amazing, and lots of people are on that, so stick with that. But if you signed up in the last couple of days on $8, you're going to be at $8. Everyone in the community will be at $8 within 2 to 4 weeks. All right, so it might be less than that. Probably, I mean, what are we now? 10th, 11th of October. Probably by the end of the month, it will be at that. So if you joined in October, stick to it. So I don't want anyone to be disappointed or think something wasn't fair. That was what my intention was, to put it to 8, keep it at 50. And then I told you that the 50 was going to go up on the Friday, which is in 2 days' time. I didn't realize it had automatically bumped it up to 80. I figured that out now, and that's why I'm telling you what's happening. So hopefully that's clear for everybody, all right? So, you know that I'm a big advocate of Shungite and Orgonite. I talk about the products a lot. I use them. So many of you are buying them and having wonderful benefits, sleeping better, growing your plants, getting structured water with the charging plates, using the pyramids, the Orgonite pyramids, to protect, because what it does is it focuses the energy way up through your roof, up into the sky, and it protects, gives you protection. Now, Kate Bush's song, Cloud Busting, it's a classic. A lot of my audience will know it because of your age group in the demographic. So, and I love you all. It's brilliant to have you on board. Kate Bush, okay? So the synchronicity is always off the charts, okay? I posted a little post over the weekend. There were some interesting cloud formations over the sea. They were actually very beautiful, but they were really quite unique. I was like, that looks kind of, how should I say it, assisted. Anyway, I put a post out. I commented, I talked about cloud busting. I put the post out, and back home, I've put the TV on, and I see on Sky Arts, there's a documentary of Kate Bush. I think I saw it a long time ago, but it's a really great documentary. Kate Bush seems just a really lovely person. Maybe someone in the audience knows her. But I've always loved her music, and talking to her, she just seems really normal and lovely. So if you're watching Kate, come on the show. But anyway, she starts to talk about cloud busting, and she talks about Willem Reich. I was like, hang on, that's the guy with Orgone. He's the one that discovered orgone energy, which is the whole premise for the Orgonite pyramids, the Orgonite phone shields, the Orgonite pendants, the Orgonite garden pucks, the Orgonite charging plates you can put in the fridge. I've got fruit in there still from like 3 weeks ago, and it's still wonderfully fresh. And the sleeping pods. You've also got the tiles. That's over in another part of the house. But I was like, hang on. So the opening line, I'm going to read it to you. Play the song again after you've watched this video. Play the song again, because it's amazing. Anyway, it came on, and she talks about orgone, and the opening line of the song is, I still dream of ORGONONE. I'm like, hang on, that's Orgonite. And then she says, yes, about Willem Reich. And Donald Sutherland, the actor, he was playing Willem Reich in her film. I didn't realize that Terry Gilliam was involved in the production of that, or the thinking behind it. I met him very briefly once in Leicester Square, a road where all the bookshops are, an old kind of traditional street. I met him there very briefly. Anyway, but yeah, so let me read this to you, okay? So, written by Kate Bush. I still dream of ORGONONE, da 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 da. I wake up crying, you're making rain, and you're just in reach. When you and sleep escape me, you're like my yo-yo that glowed in the dark. Anyway, I might be a little bit out of tune, but you get the idea. So I'm posting that little clip a few days ago, as she's talking about it. So it's just amazing. But let's look at the numbers on this, okay? So I thought it was William Reich. His name's Wilhelm Reich. He's Hungarian, Austrian. And the interesting thing about Austria and Hungary, they used to be the empire, the Ottoman, is it the Ottoman Empire? I think it is. History buffs will know better than I do. But people know that I love football, soccer. And back in the day, football, soccer used to be a real pastime and very salubrious pastime of people in Hungary and in Austria. They used to discuss tactics of football in the cafes. And I read a book back in 2010, when Spain won the World Cup. And there's a book called Inverting the Pyramid. It's interesting, pyramid, because I'm going to talk about the pyramid. But it's by a guy, I've forgotten his name now, from Sunderland. And it's a really dense, very well researched, and it took me it took me a month of solid reading to read it, because there's so much, each word, each paragraph, each page is full of so much information in this book, Inverting the Pyramid. And I can see his face, and I can't think of his name. I did speak to him. But anyway, they used to discuss in the coffee houses in Hungary and in Austria about the tactics of football. People will know that Hungary famously got to one World Cup final. Was it two? Just one, I think it was. They beat England and thrashed them at Wembley. Puskás, he scored so many great goals. They still call the great goals the Puskás Award for the people that score the best goal in modern day soccer football. But Hungary got to the final in the 50s. They were a great team back in the 50s. So this whole culture of philosophizing, discussing football, tactics, etc., was all back then. Anyway, Wilhelm Reich is Austrian-Hungarian. I met a guy yesterday, actually, the bus driver. He was Hungarian. And I told him that Budapest in numbers 88 comes to Trump. Also comes to Romanov if you spell it with an F instead of the V. So you can spell it with two Fs instead of the V. Romanov is 98 with the V, but Romanov with the two Fs takes it to 88, which is Trump. So it makes me think of because Tartary is also 88. Romanov with the two Fs is 88. Trump is obviously 88. Scotland's 88. Edinburgh's 88. Budapest is 88. Copenhagen is also 88. I should probably do every capital city. I'm sure there'll be some other 88s. I actually won the capital city competition in my class at school. I had to memorize all the capital cities, and I beat Jonathan Bugg. He got all of them except for one, and I got all of them. So anyway, it's just a little side note. But I've always loved geography as a subject, but I should look at the numbers. Maybe some of you can put in the comments, you could do countries and capital cities in Europe and around the world that come to 88, or maybe 98 or 77. So 77 is Christ, 88 is Trump, Romanov with the two Fs, or Romanov with the V, because that's 22, MAGA deal, 22. That will come to 98, and 98 is 9 plus 8. That's when Diana's funeral was at 9:08, 9 plus 8, which is 17, which is Q. So, but let's look at this. Let's look at the lyrics of all of this. And so some other numbers. So cloud busting. Well, the machine that Wilhelm Reich created was called the Cloud Buster. Cloud Buster is 140, which is Tom Numbers, which is Quantum Magic, which is the Trumps, which is the Apprentice, which is the military, which is the currency. Wilhelm is 82, Rainbow, good Rainbow. Reich is 43, which is book, which is March. Add them together. Wilhelm Reich comes to 125, which comes to 8th Avenue, which comes to time travel, which comes to John Kennedy, which comes to dark to light. So Cloudbuster plus Willem Reich comes to 265. 265 comes to the dream, 4 levels down. I spoke about that in my News with Tom Numbers show last week on Inception. They have at least 4 levels in the dream when they're showing you the movie. But 265 also comes to the first state of time travel in Back to the Future, when Marty's with Emmett Brown. Marty McFly 136, Great Awakening 136, Roger Stone 136, Stop Market 136. There's a connection with Kobe Bryant as well on 136. I'm not sure if it's just fully Kobe Bryant. I need to check that one. But then Emmett Brown 148, Donald J. Trump, Simple Geometry 148, Time Traveler, the American way to say it with 1 L, Time Traveler 148, Scriptures 148. Yeah, so 265, Cloudbuster plus Willem Reich, which is 140, the Trumps, plus 125, John Kennedy, comes to 265, which comes to October 26th. October 26th is the first day of time travel, and they immediately Marty gets sent into the past, back to 1955 on that magic day of November 5th. So there's a connection there. Then this whole thing of the pyramid. So this is the other thing I was going to suggest. So if you want to protect your home and focus the orgonite energy, Tivon and Hope, who make these beautiful products, they suggest that you get a pyramid and then maybe get a charging plate or 2, or some garden pucks, and you put them either side of the pyramid. Sleeping pods will do the same thing, or combination of all of them. And you put that, you can grid your property, your garden, your land, your home, your barn, your garage, or your flat, your apartment, wherever you live. You have the pyramid as the focus. And because of that, it's the 42-degree angle of the pyramid, okay, that gives it the intense focus. It multiplies the effect of the orgonite. And we're going to look at this now. And also, the links are below. If you want to get it, you can just click below. And they ship worldwide. Okay, so this is why. This is the connection. And I'm supposed to talk about this because I saw the clouds. I did the little mini post. And then I saw and heard Kate Bush talk about orgonone. 42 degrees. People will know that 42 degrees. In Red Dwarf, they talk about 42 degrees. 42. No, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. They talk about, is 42 the number, the answer to the universe? So 42 is important. 40 is 84. 2 is 58. 42 comes to 142 in numbers. Degrees comes to 63, which is Friday, which is the year of 63 with JFK. It happened on a Friday. 42 degrees comes to 205. 205 comes to Madison Square Garden. The Batman film shows that everything kind of implodes and destroys, and then the next day on November, and it happens on November 5th in the Batman movie. But Madison Square Garden, a real place next to the Tesla building, the Tesla Hotel, I've seen it because I stayed there a couple of years ago, looked down upon it. Madison Square Garden comes to 205. Interesting enough, it comes to my grandmother's name, who's part of the orbs and numbers for me, my spirit team. Eileen Mary Adelaide Wood, 205. But also the only emoji that exists on your phone is, with a date, is July 17th. July 17th comes to 205 in numbers. So there's a reason they put that there. Yes, so 42 degrees comes to 205. Now, if you do this, so pyramid is 86. Pyramids is 105, which is Savior, which is Arcturian. There's also a connection to 9/11. What is it? It's 9/11 is also 105, just 9, because that's 42, which is new. It's war. And 11 is 63. It takes you back again to this with the 63, which is the degrees. Interesting. If you did just do 42, the number 42 plus degrees 63 comes to 105, which is 911. So, you know, there's a lot of this. They know the power numbers on both sides of everything. But if you do pyramids is 105. So if you do 42 degrees plus pyramids, that takes you to 310. 310 is next year's election date, 310. Malachi 310, the windows of heaven. November 5th is on 310 next year. So another thing with this is Kate Bush. Kate Bush's Truth, Justice, Stella Jr. Stadium. Christopher Nolan shows a thing about the stadium in The Dark Knight Rises. So if you do this, I Still Dream of Orgonone. So I Still Dream of comes to 143, which is November 5th, which is Building 7, which is Melania Trump, which is Ground Zero, which is Paul Bushnell. Orgonone, the way that they spell it, Orgonon, as she says it in the song, is 98, Romanoff, Independence, Cornwall. Add them together comes to 241, which comes to President JFK. Now, in the Tenet film talks about plutonium-241. 241, the 241st day of the year, is August 29th, which is Judgment Day in Terminator 2. I've spoken about that plenty of times. Peter Reich. So Peter Reich is the son of Wilhelm Reich. Because of his invention, they tried to suppress him. And Peter Reich comes to quantum, comes to trumps, comes to magic energy, comes to magic orgone. It comes to, because orgone is 74, energy 74. But he wrote a book dedicated to his father, and that comes to a book of dreams, which is 125, which is Wilhelm Reich, which is time travel, dark to light, John Kennedy, Christ blood, interesting, and 8th Avenue. So all these connections are here, you know, they're all here, and it's just beautiful how the numbers work, how the synchronicities work, and even the things that we're using are all connected to the numbers because this is a divine plan. Everything has been encoded from the beginning. Inception, I forgot to say, is 105. And so, yeah, it's a beautiful time to be alive, everyone. It's a beautiful time to be alive. Yeah, pyramids, 105. Inception, 105. And I just did my previous News of Tom numbers about Inception. All right, everyone, much love, God bless. So hopefully that's clear. Get in on the full pack of the annual membership, $50 right now. It will go to $54 on Friday. And right now it's still $5 for monthly. You're still getting the 2-month discount if you get the annual, but that will change. Both of them will change on Friday, 2 days time. It'll go to $6 and up to $54. All right. Thanks, everyone. Much love. God bless. Get your orgonite, get your pyramids, get the magic and power of them. Yes, I'll see you soon. God bless. Take care. Bye.